Good morning. It has been quite some time I haven't do any recording for my painting, and I think that today will be a good time for me to show you how I paint this reference photo. And I already did the sketch here, and this is my cat Frida. Okay, so this is just a rough reference that I'm going to use. And when I'm painting, usually I will not follow exactly what is from the photo. I will try to redesign and compose my work according to the moment when I'm painting it. So let's start. Okay, now I already have a rough idea of how I want to compose this work, because I want to show a dark space here and a light here. So I'm going to start off by wetting this area first to create the background. I'm going to wet my paper. So this is the area that I want it to be blur a bit, because it's a distant scenery, and probably also the ceiling here. So I can later on add some color on it. I'm going to use composed blue with a little bit of green. Again, not necessary you need to show everything you see from the reference photo, because it's just too much. Sometimes when you are painting, we must learn to simplify things. So this is roughly the idea of what I want for the background. Probably later on I add some more. And I will go on with this area a little bit darker with anthrope blue a bit, and pull it up. Usually when I paint, I will tilt my board, around. But because today I'm doing the recording, I will try to show you how I just paint it flat, which is sometimes not the best approach when we are painting with watercolor, because we have to actually let the water move around. Anyway, I will try to do my best. So once I get the rough idea of how the background should look, maybe I want to add a little bit of warm color. A little bit of purple or lavender. So the actual painting, I can see my neighbor's roof, but I'm not going to paint that. I just want a rough idea of the space of my courtyard with a little bit of green. So again, this is a distant scene, so I wanted to keep it as soft as possible, because this is not the main, but it's equally important to show. That this cat is looking through the window. All right, so roughly I have already have this scene out, and I'm going to do the top part, which is inside the house, in the courtyard, I mean, the porch area. I wanted to have it a little bit darker. And I like my lamp to be yellow, so I can add. Again, I am trying to paint as loosely as possible because I don't really do realistic work. I like to paint from my imagination most of the time. For me, capturing the mood is very important than following what you see. Again, you see, when you are painting on a flat surface, this is the danger you may face of the water going down if it's all, the areas are all wet. Okay, so different kind of paper absorb water differently. So for beginners, usually I would suggest that if you want to start painting with watercolor, invest on the paper, you know, because if you use the wrong paper, which is not 100% cotton, you may struggle to paint because you will get pool of colors flooding all over the surface. Is because your paper is not 100% cotton, so it doesn't absorb the water that you are putting on. So like this one, this is an academic Bao Hong. Not really a artist grade paper. It's very good for doing exercises. It's still 100% cotton, which I believe that maybe it's really not. It's a mixture, I guess. But it's better than any other watercolor paper that you can find in the market, seriously. You just must know how to control. Get to know the paper is very important, because when you know the nature of the paper, you will understand how much water you need to put on. Because if you don't understand the nature of the paper, it's very difficult for you to get what you want. For this case, if I'm using an artist grade watercolor paper, I am very freely able to mix color and put a lot of water because it can absorb. When I'm using the academic one, usually I will have this cauliflower forming. Is because the paper is not fully 100% cotton. So now I'm going to create this dark area to give a contrast to the cat. I can paint over it because Frida has a very dark coat, just to show the contrast of the light that she is hiding inside this area, which is darker. So, all right. So I'm going to put this as dark as possible, and here is the light, so this part will remain bright. So this area will be the darkest, will have the darkest dark. Okay, I can add some more. I'm going to shift my brush soon. I'm going to use a smaller brush now. Well, just playing around with the fur first. And this area I want it to be dark. So this is actually the first wash only actually when I'm doing this now. It's just the first wash that I'm trying to create. It's not the final layer. This is just the first wash of the cat and the building to create the mood first. You know, you can have an idea of the first layer of the color. Okay, so you can see now. If I let you see the reference again, look, I'm creating this darker shade area. So now I'm going to change my brush. I'm going to use a mop brush or maybe a Chinese brush. This is a Chinese brush to paint Frida, my cat's fur. Her coat is, she is a totty cat. So you can see it's a mixture of a lot of brown, black, a mixture of many colors. So I can push a bit like this with some combination of orange as well. And ultramarine to have some darker tone. So you can see here it's very sharp, the edges, right? So I am going to loosen the part here to let the water go around so that you can develop a softer edges. As you can see that, you know, the cat now, you can see there are some area which is looking very fluffy. Yeah. So this part is already dry, it's hard again. You have to play with a bit of water again. So the area where it's white is actually not white. White is a mixture of many colors actually. So I want to use the blue as a base here to create some texture of the white. As you can see, it's not white because of the reflection from outside, reflection from the wall. So you never get actually a white fur, even though you see the cat has this white glove, her legs. Okay, I'm going to add some more this area. Places that I want more dark, I will add more ultramarine on it. Okay, maybe this area I want to have it a bit soft, the ears. She has a very dark face. One side of her face is actually black. It's very special and unusual color. Okay. And a little bit of maybe orange around the because with the Chinese brush actually you can do very nice soft edges and also blending with the color. With the tip, you see, you just tap, it just can blend very nicely. Okay, I can do this a little bit more later on if I need to. Now one part of this side is not all of the part of her leg is white. Some shades of dark. Again, not paying the real detail fur. This is just again a suggestion. I just want it to be very loose. All right. I guess I'm going to stop here for a while and let it dry. Now I want to focus on the background. Okay, the background now. The background I will change back to the flat brush. I'm going to give more details. I'm going to play with maybe a bit of orange, warm color. On this side, I want a warm color for here all the way. Like again, my wall and my ceiling is not red, but I want to create this contrast, so I will compose my way, my own color. To show the depth that this cat is actually looking through the window of this space. Okay, these are just suggestion. Suggestion again, suggestion. I like to keep my lamp. Okay. Maybe I should actually make it longer or lower a bit, but it's okay. Okay. I'm going to add a little more leaf now outside. So after the first layer dry, I can use a dry brush technique to create leaf on the surface that is already dry. This is now this technique is already kind of like a wet on dry, you know. To again show the distance. I can do some suggestion. Could really this could be the fence. Oh, maybe my neighbor's house from a distance, the roof. Because this is not the main thing that I want to show, but again, suggestion is you're composing the work, you know. So this is how I'm going to add more. Some dry brush technique again. All right. I'm going to use a smaller brush, maybe a liner, to create those tweaks of the See, this is a liner brush. I can paint very thin line. Again, this is just a free expression of those branches outside. Okay. I like to have a strong wash here too. Okay. All right. Now I am going to make the detail of the lamp stronger. I'm going back to my cat now. I think it's almost dry. I want to do the detail of the eyes. Frida has very dark yellow shades eyes. I'm trying to create more depth for her fur again when it's already like kind of semi-dry. She really has a very unusual feature with one side of her face is black. So I'm trying to capture as close as possible her look. Though sometimes from a different angle, she may look a bit weird. Alright. I'm still not really happy with this area, so I'm going to add more dark color. Yeah, probably need more dark shade to bring out. I can even use spray to soften this area too if I want. Now I'm going to use another color which is a bit brighter now to enhance the background so that the fur can actually come out. You see, when I'm using something which is darker, it just pop out the fur of the cat. This is like negative painting. The shape. See, it's popping out. Alright, I'm going to put here all the way down. I can also do a little bit of splashes to add more color or tone to my work. Try to keep everything as loose as possible. Alright, and I'm going to do a glaze down here. This is just to create some effect of the fur. Probably I will make some changes on the eyes later on when it's dry. I guess it's a bit too big and also very close to the ears, so it kind of like distort her face a bit. Okay, you see, when you're adding something here with a lighter color on top of the darker color, it kind of give you that softness you can play with. All right, so 30 minutes for this work, not bad. I hope you enjoy the process.